Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin has been fluctuating within a range between $66,000 and $71,300. The RSI indicates that the asset is generally within a neutral range, with values consistently below 80 and above 20. The Bollinger Bands show periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering the forecast for the next week, the price is expected to remain around $66,000 to $67,700. Therefore, I recommend a range-bound trading strategy, focusing on short-term price movements within this established range. My strategy is to implement a series of short-term trades. When the RSI falls below 40, indicating an oversold condition, enter a long position at $66,600, set a stop loss at $66,000, and target a price of $67,700. Conversely, when the RSI exceeds 52, indicating an overbought condition, enter a short position at $67,700, set a stop loss at $68,100, and target a price of $66,600. This strategy combines RSI signals with Bollinger Bands observations to capitalize on short-term price fluctuations within the $66,000 to $71,300 range, aiming for consistent profits with defined risk management. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum shows volatility with a clear support level at $2,090 and resistance at $2,340. The RSI fluctuates around the mid-range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the Bollinger Bands suggest periods of increased volatility. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy utilizing RSI and Bollinger Bands to capitalize on potential price movements. Initially, I recommend a buy position when the price touches the support level of $2,090. Set a stop loss at $2,050 to mitigate potential losses if the price breaks below the support. The initial target price should be the resistance level of $2,340, aiming for a significant profit. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI drops below 40 near the support level of $2,090, consider entering a long position at $2,090 with a stop loss at $2,050. If the RSI reaches above 70 near the resistance level of $2,340, consider taking profit at $2,340. The forecast data suggests a potential upward trend, with prices moving towards $2,180. Therefore, I will add a secondary target price of $2,180 if the price breaks through $2,340. This combined approach leverages both momentum and volatility indicators for enhanced profitability. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB has been fluctuating within a range between $606 and $657. The RSI has been consistently below 50, indicating a slightly bearish trend, with periods of oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show volatility, with the price frequently touching the upper and lower bands. Considering the forecast for the next week predicts a decline to $598, I recommend a short-term short position strategy. We will enter a short position at $609, placing a stop-loss order at $617 to limit potential losses if the price reverses. Our target price will be $598, aiming to capitalize on the predicted downward movement. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 30, indicating a strong oversold condition, we'll consider covering the short position early. Conversely, if the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, signaling a potential upward breakout, we will also consider covering the short position. This dynamic approach, combining trend analysis with technical indicators, should maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. The portfolio will prioritize the short position strategy with adjustments based on RSI and Bollinger Band signals. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP has shown a slight downward trend with price fluctuations. The RSI consistently stays below 80, indicating that XRP is not currently in overbought territory. However, the RSI dipped below 40 several times, suggesting periods of oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands indicate periods of volatility, with price frequently touching the upper and lower bands. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy incorporating RSI and Bollinger Bands for optimal returns. The strategy will focus on capitalizing on short-term price swings while mitigating risk. The core of this strategy involves identifying oversold conditions and anticipating a potential bounce. We will enter a long position when the RSI falls below 20, with an entry price of $1.28. The stop loss will be set just below the lower Bollinger Band at $1.27 to protect against further downside. The initial target price will be the center of the Bollinger Bands at $1.31. If the price reaches this target and the RSI rises above 50, we will consider moving the stop loss to break even and setting a secondary target price at $1.33. This approach balances potential gains with risk management, allowing us to profit from short-term price movements while safeguarding our investment. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana has shown a declining trend. The price has been fluctuating within the support price of $78 and a resistance price of $83.2. The RSI values have consistently been below 50, indicating a bearish momentum, with several days showing oversold conditions below 40. The forecast data further reinforces this downward trend, predicting a continuous decline in price. Considering the RSI and Bollinger Bands, I recommend a short position strategy. We will enter a short position when the price touches the center of the Bollinger Bands, which is $87.7. The stop loss will be set just above the top of the Bollinger Bands at $96.7, and the target price will be the support price of $78. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate RSI levels. If the RSI falls below $39.4, which indicates an oversold condition, we will enter a short position at $88.6. The stop loss will be set at $95.8, just above the top of the Bollinger Bands, and the target price will be $78. This strategy combines the Bollinger Band's price action signals with the RSI's momentum indication, providing a more robust and efficient approach. The combination of these three strategies yields a high-return portfolio. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON exhibits an overall upward trend, consistently bouncing off the support price of $0.314. The RSI fluctuates between 60 and 70, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been trading within the bands, with recent movement towards the upper band, suggesting increasing bullish momentum. Considering the forecast prices, which consistently project values above the recent closing prices, and the support and resistance levels, I propose a long position strategy. We will enter a long position when the RSI dips below 60, targeting the resistance level of $0.322. The entry price for this long position will be $0.313, coinciding with a recent dip in RSI. To manage risk, the stop loss will be set just below the support level at $0.312. The target price will be the resistance level of $0.322. This strategy combines RSI signals for entry, support and resistance for price targets, and Bollinger Bands to confirm the overall trend. The potential return is 0.322 minus 0.313 is equal to $0.009 per coin, offering a favorable risk-reward ratio. This portfolio will be the most efficient of the three strategies. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin has been trading within a range between $0.0901 and $0.0963. The RSI has fluctuated between 42.2 and 51.1, indicating a mixed sentiment. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has recently been near the lower band, suggesting a potential for a bounce. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position at $0.0899, capitalizing on the recent dip in proximity to the lower Bollinger Band. A stop-loss order will be placed at $0.0901, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. The target price will be set at $0.0963, aligning with the recent resistance level. To further refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI falls below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we will hold the position. If the RSI reaches 80, indicating an overbought condition, we will take partial profits at $0.0942. This combined strategy balances the Bollinger Band's momentum indication with RSI's overbought/oversold signals. The portfolio will prioritize the Bollinger Band strategy with RSI confirmation for risk management, aiming for a high-return investment with controlled risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano has been trading within a defined range between $0.24 and $0.251. The RSI has fluctuated between 37.3 and 50.4, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting decreasing volatility. Considering the forecast prices hovering around $0.24 to $0.248, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position when the RSI drops below 20, with an entry price of $0.24. The stop loss will be set just below the bottom of the Bollinger Bands at $0.232, and the initial target price will be the resistance level at $0.251. To refine the strategy, we will implement a trailing stop loss once the price reaches $0.251. The trailing stop loss will be adjusted to the 20-day moving average, ensuring that profits are secured while allowing for continued upside potential. If the price continues to rise above $0.251, we will set a second target price at $0.268. This strategy combines RSI signals for entry, Bollinger Bands for stop-loss placement, and support/resistance levels for target prices, creating a balanced approach to capitalize on potential upward movement in Cardano while mitigating risk. This portfolio is the most efficient of the three strategies. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash demonstrates a downtrend with increasing volatility. The price has been fluctuating within a range between $452 and $481, with the forecast indicating a potential further decline towards $441. The RSI has been oscillating around the 40 to 50 range, suggesting neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the Bollinger Bands show that the price has been approaching the upper band, indicating a potential for a pullback. Considering these factors, I recommend a short position strategy focusing on capitalizing on the anticipated downtrend. The entry price for this short position will be $466. The stop loss will be set at $484, just above the upper Bollinger Band to protect against unexpected upward movements. The initial target price will be $455, aligning with the forecast price. If the price reaches $455, we will adjust the stop loss to break even at $466 and set a second target price at $449, capitalizing on the further potential decline indicated by the forecast. This strategy combines technical indicators and price forecasts to maximize potential returns while mitigating risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chainlink shows a slight upward trend with price fluctuations around the $9 mark. The RSI consistently fluctuates between 40 and 54, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility, with prices occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering the support price of $8.86 and the resistance price of $9.17, a moderately bullish strategy is recommended. I propose a strategy that leverages the forecast prices and combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals. Specifically, I recommend a buy position when the RSI dips below 40 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. For example, if the forecast price on April 2, 2026, is $8.78 and the RSI is below 40, initiate a buy order at $8.78. Set a stop-loss order at $8.63 to limit potential losses. The initial target price is $9.06, aligning with the forecast price on April 6, 2026. If the price continues to rise and breaks through the resistance level of $9.17, adjust the target price to $9.37. This strategy balances risk and reward, capitalizing on potential upward movement while protecting against significant downside risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, DeXe exhibits a strong upward trend. The RSI consistently remains above 70, indicating overbought conditions, but the price continues to rise, suggesting strong buying pressure. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, confirming increasing volatility and potential for further price movement. The forecast data projects a continued upward trajectory, with prices reaching $9.2 within a week. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy focusing on capitalizing on this bullish momentum. We will use a combination of RSI and Bollinger Band signals to optimize entry and exit points. Our strategy involves entering a long position at $7.9, coinciding with the recent high and anticipating further upward movement. A stop loss will be placed at $7.43, just below the recent support level and the lower Bollinger Band, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $8.68, aligning with the forecast price for April 5, 2026. If the price reaches this target, we will move the stop loss to the entry price of $7.9 to secure profits and protect against a potential pullback. Further targets will be set based on subsequent forecast prices, aiming for $9.01 and ultimately $9.2. This combined approach leverages both technical indicators and future projections for optimal risk-reward ratio and high return potential. Based on the historical data and forecast, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance shows an overall upward trend, bouncing between a support price of $0.23 and a resistance price of $0.261. The RSI consistently fluctuates but generally remains above 50, indicating a bullish sentiment. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been nearing the upper band recently, suggesting potential for a pullback or consolidation. Given this, I propose a long position strategy. Entry price should be $0.244, with a stop loss placed just below the support level at $0.22. The initial target price should be set at the recent resistance of $0.261. To refine the strategy, I'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we would enter a long position at $0.23 with a stop loss at $0.21 and a target price of $0.26. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 80 or higher, suggesting an overbought condition, we would consider exiting the position or tightening the stop loss. Considering the forecast, the price is predicted to increase to $0.266. Therefore, the final portfolio will be a long position with an entry price of $0.244, a stop loss of $0.22, and a target price of $0.266, capitalizing on the anticipated upward momentum. Based on the historical data and forecast, just demonstrates a clear upward trend. The price has consistently tested and bounced off the support level of $0.0591, while the RSI has fluctuated between 63.5 and 81.4, indicating periods of both overbought and oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been expanding slightly, suggesting increasing volatility. The forecast for the next week projects continued price appreciation, reaching $0.0673. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy focusing on capitalizing on the prevailing bullish momentum. My proposed strategy involves entering a long position at $0.0632. The initial stop loss should be set at $0.0591, just below the established support level, to limit potential losses. The first target price is $0.0666, aligning with the midpoint of the forecasted range. If the price reaches this target, we can consider moving the stop loss to break even at $0.0632. The final target price is $0.0673, the highest point of the forecast, providing a substantial profit margin. This strategy combines trend analysis, support and resistance levels, and price forecasts to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, SE is exhibiting a clear downtrend. The price has consistently tested the support level of $0.05, and the forecast projects further declines. The RSI consistently remains below 30, indicating an oversold condition, which suggests a potential for a short-term bounce, but the overall trend remains bearish. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing, which could signal increased volatility, but currently, the price is trading near the lower band, further reinforcing the downward pressure. Therefore, I propose a short selling strategy. The entry price for this short position will be $0.0543. Given the strong downtrend and proximity to the support level, a stop loss should be placed just above the upper Bollinger Band at $0.0729 to protect against a potential short-term bounce. The target price will be $0.0494, aligning with the forecast price and providing a reasonable profit margin. This strategy combines the oversold RSI signal with the bearish trend indicated by the price action and Bollinger Bands, offering a balanced approach to capitalize on the anticipated price decline. Based on the historical data and forecast, Algorand shows a clear upward trend. The price has been fluctuating within a range, but the recent surge to $0.103 indicates strengthening bullish momentum. The RSI has crossed above 50, nearing the overbought level of 80, suggesting a potential for further price increases. The Bollinger Bands are expanding, with the price consistently approaching the upper band, confirming the bullish outlook. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.092. A stop loss should be placed at $0.0875 to mitigate potential losses if the trend reverses. The initial target price should be $0.106, aligning with the forecast high. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 30, oversold, we'll consider adding to the position at the prevailing price. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it presents another buying opportunity. If the price reaches the target of $0.106, we'll consider taking partial profits and moving the stop loss to break even. This dynamic approach allows us to capitalize on both trend following and mean reversion opportunities, maximizing potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Raydium demonstrates a generally upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI fluctuates between 38 and 60, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions consistently. However, the recent upward momentum, especially in the last few days of March, suggests a potential for further price appreciation. The forecast for the next week predicts continued price increases, potentially reaching $0.667. Considering the support level at $0.612 and the resistance at $0.685, a strategy focusing on short-term gains within this range is advisable. Therefore, I propose a portfolio combining three strategies. First, a buy order at $0.61 with a stop loss at $0.605 and a target price of $0.642, leveraging the support level and RSI readings. Second, a buy order at $0.614 with a stop loss at $0.608 and a target price of $0.623, capitalizing on the predicted upward movement. Finally, a buy order at $0.62 with a stop loss at $0.614 and a target price of $0.642, aligning with the Bollinger Band's upward trajectory. This diversified approach mitigates risk while aiming for high returns, utilizing the forecasted price increases and technical indicators to guide entry, exit, and risk management. Based on the historical data and forecast, IOTA exhibits a downtrend with periods of consolidation. The price has been fluctuating between a support of $0.0572 and a resistance of $0.0598. The RSI consistently remains below 50, indicating a prevailing bearish sentiment, with values dipping below 30, suggesting oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show the price nearing the lower band, reinforcing the possibility of a continued decline. My strategy will be a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands. I recommend a short position initiated at $0.0554. A stop loss should be set at $0.0572, just above the support level, to limit potential losses if the price unexpectedly rebounds. The target price for this trade is $0.0514, aligning with the lower Bollinger Band and providing a reasonable profit margin. To refine this strategy, I'll incorporate RSI signals. When the RSI falls below 20, it indicates an oversold condition, which is a potential entry point for a short position. Conversely, when the RSI exceeds 80, it signals an overbought condition, suggesting a possible entry point for a long position. Considering the forecast data, the price is expected to hover around $0.055, and the RSI is likely to remain in oversold territory. Therefore, maintaining a short position with an entry price of $0.0553, a stop loss at $0.0572, and a target price of $0.0514 appears to be a prudent and potentially profitable approach. This combined strategy leverages both momentum and volatility indicators to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Trust Wallet exhibits a clear downtrend, consistently testing the support level of $0.362. The RSI consistently dips below 30, indicating oversold conditions, particularly on March 31 and April 1, reaching 21.1 and 28.6 respectively. The forecast data projects further decline, with prices falling from $0.396 to $0.328 over the next week. Considering these factors, I recommend a short position strategy. We will enter a short position at $0.39 on April 2, 2026, when the price is forecasted to be $0.396. The stop loss will be set at $0.438, just above the recent resistance level of $0.453, to limit potential losses if the price unexpectedly reverses. The target price will be $0.328, aligning with the lowest forecast price for the week. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price has been consistently trading below the lower band for the past few days, reinforcing the downtrend. Given the oversold RSI and the downward forecast, this presents a high probability shorting opportunity. The strategy will prioritize the RSI signal, as it consistently indicates oversold conditions. The portfolio will be 70% short position based on the RSI signal, 20% short position based on the forecast data, and 10% short position based on the Bollinger Bands. This blended approach maximizes potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Sonic shows a fluctuating trend with recent upward momentum. The RSI has crossed 50 and reached 57.4, indicating a strengthening bullish sentiment. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price movement. The support price of $0.0438 has been consistently holding, while the resistance at $0.0498 presents a potential upside target. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.0447 on April 8, 2026. To manage risk, set a stop-loss order at $0.0425, just below the forecast price for that day. For the target price, aiming for the resistance level of $0.0498 would be a reasonable goal, providing a potential profit of $0.0051. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 30, consider a long entry at $0.0382, with a stop loss at $0.036 and a target of $0.0438. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 70, consider a short entry at $0.0491, with a stop loss at $0.050 and a target of $0.0438. Combining these signals, the primary strategy remains a long position with an entry of $0.0447, a stop loss of $0.0425, and a target of $0.0498, while the RSI and Bollinger Bands provide additional entry and exit points for enhanced flexibility and profit maximization. Based on the historical data and forecast, Plasma shows a volatile trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The RSI consistently fluctuates, with readings below 50, indicating a generally neutral to slightly bearish momentum. However, the recent surge in RSI towards 56.2 suggests a potential shift towards bullishness. The Bollinger Bands indicate periods of increased volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering the forecast data, the price is expected to remain relatively stable in the short term, with a slight upward trend towards $0.105. Therefore, I propose a moderately bullish strategy focusing on short-term gains. My recommended strategy is to enter a long position at $0.0954, coinciding with the first day of the forecast period and a relatively low RSI reading. Set a stop-loss order at $0.088, just below the lower Bollinger Band and recent support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price should be $0.101, aligning with the support price and a reasonable profit margin. If the price breaks through the $0.101 resistance and the RSI continues to rise above 60, consider raising the target price to $0.105. This strategy combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals to capitalize on short-term price movements while managing risk with a defined stop-loss. This approach balances potential gains with risk mitigation, suitable for a volatile asset like plasma.